In the beginning, I did not know how to read, and the weird markings I saw everywhere were without meaning and made no sense. Then I stopped paying homage to the Bible and started reading the script. My literacy narrative is quite boring. Too boring. So boring I couldn't think of a way to make it interesting enough to get a good grade and ended up turning it in several months late. My earliest memory of literacy was in kindergarten, when I first learned the ABC song. And despite the fact that I learned this song well over 10 years ago, it still gets stuck in my head for several hours every time I so much as think about it. Next thing I remember, I was in first grade trying not to fall asleep during a boring lecture about the difference between there, and there, and later the difference between two and two and two. A year later, my mom signed me up for this program held at the local library, where the elementary school kids would come and read stories to therapy dogs. And occasionally, a service dog, my favorite was a golden retriever named Boomer. Unfortunately, she is not around anymore. Then nothing interesting happened for the next couple of years until I was in 4th grade, which my mother to this day says was the most difficult year for me, though I still think it's 6th grade. And I remember quite well why. After all, my 4th grade teacher, as of now, isn't allowed within 200 feet of a school. Putting the mountains of salt aside here for a moment, my 4th grade teacher did introduce me to the book series that would teach me that reading could be enjoyable. That book series was called The Genius Files, and when he introduced it to me, the first book had been out for less than a year. After that, nothing interesting ever seemed to happen. My reading level just kind of naturally increased over time with no major events or changes to speak of. Well, except for that one time about a month before this project, when I got super duper bored and said, you know what, I'm just going to bind a book. And I did, and it was really jank. And then my current English teacher told me I have to include it in this literacy narrative. Anyway, that's all. Bye.